love the back of the draft. Although Superflex can play games with just about everything. Like if quarterbacks start flying in the second round too, like I expect that they'll be, 8 to 10 in the first round, and then if we get another 8 to 10 in the second round, all of a sudden people start scrambling, but then value starts falling.
Yeah, me and JD did one not too long ago, and I really like it. A lot of stuff fell my way in that one. I think we were back to back on that. JD sniped me.
I think we were
6 and 7 or 7 and 8 or something like that.
They all roll into one after a while. All the drafts.
I listen to those and how, like, I do a bunch of best balls, but you guys are on another level.
All right, so we got a big show tonight. We're starting early. We're gonna do a BALLiN special tonight. We're gonna definitely rock one of these guys, the FFPC SuperFlex number 2, 10 grand, $35 entry, SuperFlex, obviously tight end premium. It's just a nice draft, man. You can go so many ways. But first, we're gonna talk about. I got my buddy Wheeler on. If you guys watched us last week, we did a BALLiN with $125 buy-in for 200 grand. FF_Wheeler, one of the top rankers on the planet, now part of the 33rd team. Welcome back, brother. Is that what you guys do?
That's my thing. That's my thing. I'm starting that. That's the new shit. Thanks. Great to be here.
Does Larky know about that one? Did he?
No. He'll approve it after tonight. he had the chance to be here, but he's got to go to some expo. I heard about something or other. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some kind of expo going on. I'm stuck north of the border, man. I can't do any of the fun stuff you guys do down there.
Sure can't.
We got our boy Jason from the swamps down there in the Florida. I keep calling him the swamps. He's probably getting pissed. How you doing, brother? I like the Letterman beard.
What's happening, JD? Thanks for having me, dude. And it is a swamp. It's Florida. No matter the neighborhood, it's still a swamp.
I know there's alligators and stuff down there. So,
did you cue that music?
You guys want to hear the music before we get into it? All right, we do that.
That's by the people.
Go District. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball. And I bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. It's the Go District, y'all. I ball, cause I bleed. Hey, bleeding, I ball. Defeated the odds, didn't see him at all. JD in the pies, I needed it all. I bleeded a lie. You bleeded a lie, not bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know dudes. Drafting, they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the Go District, boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden, and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving the district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laugh at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, BALLiN ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.
All right, what is up, Fantasyland? We got the proper intro done for Wheeler. Wheeler wanted to hear our boy Gabe rip it on the BALLiN anthem, which is awesome. And what a better way to kick off tonight. We got football on tonight. We got some live drafts going. We got Jason. We got Wheeler. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're in the comments, in the live chat, drop your comments, drop your questions as we go through this. We're going to start the FFPC SuperFlex Best Ball Tourney 2 at 10 p.m. So that is in about 26 minutes. Until then, we'll talk about a strategy. We'll talk about, I started saying Wheeler and I are in a draft. Wheeler, how many people in this draft? Is it like 60 or 70, something like that?
It's 300.
Oh, okay. I'm way off. That's why I couldn't find your draft board. I'm like, why am I not finding Wheeler? So
no, there's five divisions of 60, so you can only see your division. It's drafting with Giants. It's the number 8, DWG 8. if you want to follow that hashtag. Andy Singleton started it. Good guy. Yeah, this is the 8th year. I think my first year was year 3, and it was either year 3 or 4. We both made the final 4, along with Michael Olivia. I think that's his last name.
I lost to him in the final, and that's the year that I won this bad boy. I'm trying to like point to it like a cool guy, but I won that guy behind me. That was what is that again? King of the Drafts or something like that. So I won that one, and I lost the final with DWG. Was it DWG 4? I think it was 4.
Okay.
Anyways, it was one of those. Yeah, I think you and I, it was our first ones, and we've been in them since, and they're fun, man. I think I had Sigmund Bloom in my division a couple of years ago. It's a fun draft. A lot of people in it. Like you said, I didn't realize there was a few hundred now. That's crazy. But it's really different, and that's why we kind of wanted to bring it up. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but again, just looking at the different drafts that are out there right now, definitely some cool formats. Talk about how this is different than some of the other drafts that you're doing right now, Wheeler.
Okay, so the quarterback scoring is extremely high, but it's kind of extremely high across the board. So I think what you're going to see is a lot of teams drafting quarterback early because they do score so high, but it's a best ball. I think that's a mistake. I think if each and every quarterback should benefit from this scoring, then again, you kind of have to look, it is -3 for interception. 1 point for every 20 passing yards. So those pocket passers benefit. There's points for completion, negative for incompletion, but it's not too drastic either. It's not like some tournaments I've seen. So the QBs,
I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll try to get as big as I can, but this is basically just showing you where the quarterbacks finish versus the other positions, just with the scoring. So Josh Allen, obviously, with 459, those top 6 quarterbacks over 400, and everyone else is below.
I think if you look at most scoring, though, you're going to see a ton of quarterbacks up at the top. This just tends to spread out. Like, yes, you want a quality quarterback, but I'm more in the mind frame of if I can get 2 in that like second tier, or it depends on how you break up the tiers, but like if I can get the 12th and 13th best, I'm just fine with that, because I would rather them ham and egg the way to the top than just be relying on one or wasting that draft capital where you can get guys at certain positions. Another thing, what you're going to see here, and I don't see it as much on yours as I did on mine. My draft went.
I'll show some different ones here, just so maybe you can.
Yeah, mine I think went 8 or 9 or 10 running backs in the first round.
Oh, okay.
Because it is point per carry.
Yep.
And then it's half point. Well, here it's quarter point per reception, but you get a quarter point per target. So that kind of breaks down to like a 0.65 or a 0.6 per reception. It's a little more than half point. When you average out the numbers. I've been in this for a while, so my first couple of years, I'm like, how does this all break down? And kind of going crazy over that. But tight ends are almost double that. So they get 0.4 per target. So it's not quite double per target, but it is double for reception. It's 0.5 per reception. So that tends to work out to basically a full point PPR, whereas the running back and wide receivers are kind of getting a 0.6 to 0.65 PPR. So it devalues, in theory, it devalues the wide receiver scoring, but you're starting 3 wide receivers, so I think they're just as essential.
Yeah.
And I know I started out my draft.
Yeah, I've got yours. I don't know if you're able to share it, or you want me to pull it up.
If you have it and you want to pull it up, but I started out at Cup, and then second round I went Fournette just because running backs were flying off the board, and I wanted to grab at least the second tier potential. Oh, and in this scoring last year, Fournette was the RB5. So I kind of like, he was about the 15th or 16th running back off the board, maybe later than that. But last year's scoring, he was the RB5. So I kind of went, I'll take a running back here just to kind of CYA and go with that hero RB. And then I was able to get Pitts coming back in the 3rd round, because it is, I don't think these guys realize how strong a tight end premium it really is compared to the other positions.
Yeah, you and I were chatting when I was on the clock in the 2nd, and you got him, at a nice value there, because I had to take him in the 2nd round, coming back to me after I took McCaffrey.
I almost went Andrews in the 2nd, but I was kind of like, I thought if I went Andrews there, I wouldn't get the running back coming back. I wouldn't get Etienne or Hall coming back. Yeah. And I was kind of, I mean, maybe they get pushed back one further if Fournette is still around in there, but I didn't think it was likely. And I was eyeing up Pitts in the 3rd anyway. So I was crossing my fingers that he would come back to me. And when he did, I was pretty happy with it. And I've gone,
any 3 of those guys would have been good for you there coming back.
Yeah. I just thought it was most likely that if I let Andrews go in the 2nd, it might push Pitts back just a little bit further.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you threw in another 2 receivers there. Is that DJ Moore and Marquise Brown?
Yeah, DJ Moore is my guy. I was hoping, Marquise Brown. Now, I've seen him going, like, he started going late 3rd, and then he dropped to the 4th, and now I see him going in the 5th round in a lot of different places.
Your receivers are pushed down compared, because if you look, if you go back to my, where is it? If you look at my board compared to yours, look at where my, like, DJ Moore was gone in the 4th here, and then you got him down in the 5th.
No, I got DJ in the 4th, but Marquise in the 5th.
Or Marquise in the 5th. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. It's very similar then, I guess. I
just I feel like a week ago Marquise was going much higher. Maybe I was just drafting him too high, which is possible.
Yeah, I feel like people got back on the Hopkins train a bit more. I know Jason actually was selling me on Hopkins and kind of pointing him out as a value just for what he offers coming back from 6. Jason, anything pop out or anything on this kind of scoring system that you see strategy wise before maybe we talk a bit of FFPC action?
Again, I agree with it's so funny. It's just tight ends. You're about to find out. I like drafting. I want at least one of the top 5 tight ends. But I know the scoring system, but if you look at this, I mean, it just looks like a normal best ball. Like on the Amari Cooper went super early in 1, and I'm assuming that's because of the target thing, and that he should be like a target hog on that team. I found that interesting where how early Amari Cooper went in Waller.
Oh, I didn't see that. Is that one of the other boards, or is that in Wheeler's?
Yeah, it was in Wheeler's.
There we go.
He went right after Wheeler picked.
Oh yeah, he went right. He went actually. Wow, between Pittman and DJ Moore. Yeah, that is kind of early, because usually you see Sutton go ahead of him. McLaurin usually.
And with McLaurin, he's starting to fall. I used to be, and even not McLaurin. Who were we just talking about? Arizona Brown.
Marquise.
I think his injury and then out of the legal trouble. You know how finicky everybody is. Any kind of bad news comes out, a player starts to drop pretty.
Yeah, people get nervous.
But was it really an injury? Like, I thought he just missed practice because he got arrested for speeding. Like,
but as well.
I didn't. I just didn't see the injury. Like I was looking for an injury and didn't see one. I could be wrong though. Yeah, now I see it.
So, what are your thoughts, Wheeler, as with what you've seen now? Like what 5 rounds in, rest of the draft, you pretty much have a good idea which way you're going. You're just kind of seeing how the draft plays out. What are your thoughts after 5 rounds?
I'm probably going to get one more receiver in that 6th round if there's still a value. Might shift a quarterback depending on which ones start to fall. What were we talking? 6th round? I'll probably start to look for quarterback in the 8th, 9th round. It's all about what value falls, and I'm hoping there's some running back value that falls, because I feel as though there's that huge rush of running back in the beginning. Yeah. So there's probably going to be a counter reaction so that people fill up their lineups. Like there's quite a few, from what I gather, like good analysts in this draft, but I don't know how many drafts they're really doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some higher profiler names.
Do you know any guys in your draft? I don't really recognize guys in mine, I don't think.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Oh, actually, no. What am I saying? I'm between 2 guys, 2 regulars on the show. John Lobb is in the 1 spot. I'm in the 2 spot, and then Shane is the worst. Our buddy Shane Manila is in the 3rd spot. So I'm actually squished between the only guys I know in this draft.
Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking about BESTBALL. I'm in BESTBALL as well, and that's actually, it starts out BESTBALL, and then week 10
name dropper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that Data Force charity. That's the name dropper. that one has Pat Fitzmaurice, Pat Thorman, Sean Corner, John Paulson, Waz. Dang. Like, yeah, I think Joe Bond. No, yeah, I think he's actually in both BESTBALL and that charity one. Jake Seeley. Like, there's so many names in that one. That was my name dropping one. But yeah, actually, in this one, there aren't any names that I recognize, really.
Did you guys have you guys done a lot of the SuperFlex 1 for the FFPC? The first one?
I did not. I did a couple.
Okay.
I think I did 2.
Jason, do you get any in there? You're on mute, I think.
Sorry, I had a cough. No,
You didn't do any?
I'm sorry. My apologies. I was making sure everything's right on this before the draft.
Yeah, we got 11 minutes before we start here, just over 11. I was just asking for the first one, the first SuperFlex tourney they did on the FFPC, if you got any entries in for that one.
No, I've done. This is my 7th one in this one.
In the number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I haven't been paid. Maybe I do have other ones in the first one. I didn't realize the second one is done.
I think I have like a dozen in the first one. Managed to squeeze in there.
No, I've done quite a few of these.
So what do you guys like about these? I mean, it's fun. Obviously, SuperFlex, tight end preem. It's slim. There's so many ways you can go. There's no kickers or defenses like a lot of the FFPC tournaments. Wheeler, what do you like about these tournaments?
I mean, I like the SuperFlex tournaments. I feel like there were a couple last year or a couple in the past, but now this year you're starting to see more and more, and I'm glad FFPC and a couple others got on the bandwagon and at least have some sort of offering when it comes to SuperFlex. Like, in all reality, like, we need to get in leagues where we're starting more players. Like, in my opinion, the more starters that are in your lineup, the less it comes down to luck. Like, yeah. Yes, the injury and luck is always going to play a hand, right? But if you're really on top of your game drafting, you come up with the best structure and the best depth and the best players, of course, like, that becomes a skill after a while. I always kind of say the first 6 rounds are going to look the same on almost every draft board. And Jason kind of said it, like he's looking at the DWG8 and he's like, kind of looks like every other best ball I've seen, right? Like, so that first 6 rounds, and I think I was saying this one time previous, like I break the draft down into 3 parts. I really feel like you win the draft in that second part, that second 6 guys, basically 6 to 8 guys that you draft. That's where the skill comes in. That's where the judgment calls come in. And that's really where I believe the draft is won and lost.
Yeah, I think the first, like you said, those first 5, 6 rounds, I mean, they'll point you in what direction your draft is going, but not everyone takes that information and runs with it the same way, right? And that's where I think what you're saying is where the difference is between, you know, the winning players and everyone else.
Yeah, and that's where I think SuperFlex definitely, it scrambles up the top a little bit too, because you'll get 6 to 10 quarterbacks going in that first round, and then all of a sudden the 12 pick is the 1 pick, or do they get a second quarterback? And then you almost immediately hit a different strategy in these SuperFlex drafts than you see in the standard drafts. So it's a good way to jumble it up.
Jason, I'm jumping over a bit. We only have 8 minutes till we start drafting. You're a San Fran fan, 49ers fan. How do you feel about Frank Gore news that came out today?
To me, it's the off the field stuff. It's off.
We're losing you, brother.
Hey,
aliens got you.
Huh?
Maybe leave and come back because you sound like the aliens got you.
No, not now.
Oh, there we go. You're good. Go ahead. All right. Looks like we lost Letterman for a bit. He's his connection's in and out.
That's all right. We'll get him back.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get him back on. So we got 7 minutes in. I'm in the 5 spot. You're in the 7 spot. It's funny. We just joked about it on Friday when we did the 125 best ball. You know, we both prefer the ends. You don't like being in the middle, and of course, we all end up in the middle for this one.
Yeah.
What do you like about the ends? I just like how I find it's easier to plan in the sense that you can hit those stacks a little easier. You put a pool of players that you like, and you can usually get 2 out of those guys. You know what I mean? Like when you're closer to the ends, what is it that you like about the ends versus being in the middle?
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like usually you can catch, I don't know, for some reason this year too, it's kind of breaking that if you're in the 10, 11, 12, like you get to kind of get 2 in a tier on that turn, right? And you can kind of, you have a decision where you can turn the tables a little bit sometimes.
Well, you can start runs. You can start runs if you do it properly, or get your timing right.
And it's nice and easy. Like if you're in the 10 hole, you can read what the 11 and 12 are doing and draft. Maybe I'll draft a wide receiver because they both wide receiver needed, because they both went running back in the first couple rounds. So I know they're not going to touch running back, so I'll just wait until the way back. Yeah, I'll play that game like crazy. Yep. Or if you're on the 12 hole, you can kind of like, you might want to double tap every time or at certain times in order to start the run, or like catch the last end of a tier with 2 of them instead of just 1. Like you can definitely turn the tide when you're at the end. When you're in the middle, like I'm just like, okay, it's basically tier based drafting. Here we go again. Like I don't feel as though you have any control. Yeah, you can catch runs, which is nice, but there are certain drafts where you don't see the runs. And if you don't see the runs, there's really no benefit to being in the middle.
1912 asking where the boys are tonight. The boys are you got one of them's out on date night and the other one's drafting somewhere, some big league somewhere. So you're stuck with us tonight, but hopefully you enjoy the draft. We got 4 minutes till we start. We'll get the draft board on the screen here. If you guys are into the best ball, into the draft boards, I do tweet out my draft boards when I finish them as much as I can at JD Goat District. Wheeler actually dropped the link to the draft board tonight on Twitter. Just check out his handle. I'm sure you guys are already following him. You'll find that on there. Just easier for you guys to follow along if you're listening.
I dropped it right below the link for this. So.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So we got 4 minutes in. We lost Jason. No big deal. Yeah, like he said, I always forget that he has issues with his Wi-Fi. We try to get him on. He's just one of those guys where whenever I've been in a league with him, he's usually one of the best teams. He has that eye for building a nice roster. No, 1912. We're actually going against each other. We're all drafting individually for this one. I'll get the draft board up now. You guys can see where we're at. Where are we here? There we go. Why is there two screens? That's weird. Oh, I think I know why. Hold on. Rookie mistake here. My production company's on vacation, so. All right, so there you guys can see the board. See if I can make that a bit bigger. It's kind of hard to fit the whole screen and make it big enough for you guys. But in the first, I'm trying to see who else is in here. I don't really know any of the other guys in here. Do you know any of them? I know Renegades is pretty much in every draft.
I think there's somebody responded to us that they jumped in right after I posted it, and it was either BESTBALL chat or the DWG8 chat.
Okay.
I kind of spread it all around, so there could be a couple here. If you're in one of my other drafts, say something in the chat and hit that like button. I'm not in the chat telling everybody to hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button, people.
All right.
There's only a couple of people in there, but let's see. Jason.
So we got 2 minutes. I'm going to be right back. Wheeler, you can take it for 2 minutes. I'll be right back, brother.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. So what I was saying earlier about Marquise Brown, since Marquise Brown got arrested for the speeding charge, he's dropped dramatically, and I can't tell if that's the only thing. Like when I queue up his injury report, I don't see anything, but that's something. I will be from the 7 hole. I am looking at 5 quarterbacks and then the 2 running backs to start out with. So I'm going to be happy or satisfied with my pick, but I would rather have some options on the corner there.
On mute. The middle is a bit tricky, but it's also harder to get stuck in like kind of stuck out of runs, right? Because you are in the middle, you can kind of jump in whenever you want. Let's try Jason one more time, see if his connection's better. Jay, you back with us?
How's that, JD?
Sounds better so far.
So far, so good.
I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, I found my headset, got that hooked up, so hopefully we're better.
All right, nice. So we got 30 seconds, this thing's starting. For those tuning in, we're doing the SuperFlex $35 buy-in, $10,000 for first place. This is the SuperFlex Best Ball Tourney 2. Tight end Preem, SuperFlex, 20 deep. I'm in the 6th spot. All right, sorry, I'm in the 5 spot. Wheeler's in the 7, and Jason is in the 9. Do you guys have you kind of tear up that first round? Do you have a strategy going in? Do you just kind of see who falls to you? Do you guys have any specifics when you're doing the first pick of the draft?
This is like I said earlier. This is the first time that everything that I've done and everything's been earlier. This is the first time I'm actually getting to pick from the 109 spot, or a later spot, anyways. So no, I'm curious how this team's going to shake out.
So have all your drafts been the Superflex, or have you done the?
Yeah, for these, yeah, a lot of FFPC. I've done regular, the 35, but for the tournaments, Superflex is what I've been doing.
I've been doing mostly regular lately. I haven't done a whole lot of Superflex, but
for
all those dynasties are Superflex, so I'm good to go.
You do like the 12-man?
I just like the randomness.
Yes.
Sorry, JD.
Hey, Wheeler. No, I was
What's
just
that?
asking Wheeler. You do the 12-man leagues, or are you doing a lot more of the tourneys? What do you find your splits are?
A lot more of the 20s.
Yeah,
a lot
same,
more.
same.
I want them big bucks, man.
It's more fun. It's just more fun, you know. I know it's not the proper bankroll management, but all right, here we go. I'm on the clock. I mean, for me, if one of these, I'm basically taking the fifth guy that falls out of those top quarterbacks.
Right.
I do mix in JT. I've mixed in McCaffrey. I've mixed in Jefferson. I'm going to go Murray for this one.
That's the way I had it.
Yeah, it's when you're in the 6, 7.
And I like that.
Sorry, Jason.
Nah, I like Murray because I like that his pieces are super stackable.
Yes.
You're not missing out on Connor. Connor goes at a decent clip. Ertz as a tight end premium goes goes later than I think he should. But yes, all of his, and then with Hopkins, 6 weeks suspension, but where he's going is like it's already built into his ADP.
Yeah.
I'm left with a decision here now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So we got 6 quarterbacks straight off the board. Burrow goes off. Murray, Wheeler's on the clock in the 7th spot. And this is where you have those decisions to make in the first round is, you know, when someone doesn't take someone early or push a guy back to you, that's when you kind of got to decide, you know, look at your ownership. How many are you going to do with these? You just take the first guy in your rankings.
So I'm really torn between my next best quarterback and the running back I think is better for tournament play. I'm going to go with the running back. I'm going to go with CMC. Now, if you're playing in a 12-team self-contained league, then I would go Jonathan Taylor. I would play it safe. But I'm going for the win. So I'm going to take the guy that I think gives me the biggest differential week to week, or even over the course of the season. Like CMC, when he's healthy, is like 5 points better than any other running back. And while Jalen Hurts could be that at quarterback, he's not going to be that as often at his position. So I'm hoping all of a sudden the tables turn and people back off those quarterbacks so I can get something decent on the way back. But who knows? Maybe I just keep going position players, get my non-Superflex 101.
Well, zigging when everyone else is zagging.
Right.
I mean, McCaffrey more and more now is going ahead of JT, I find, in a lot of different redraft formats. And
yeah, if you like, it's just the argument's been made enough now that, like, if he's healthy for 16 games, nobody matches him. Like, and when you're playing in a tournament, you're playing against hundreds, thousands of other teams. You need the guy that's going to outperform everybody.
So Renegades is pretty happy. JT going so far in this tournament's ADP in the 4 spot normally, and he gets him at the back end in the 10 spot. So that's pretty good value there.
Definitely.
Guys, what's with the nude pictures as your profile pic? Come on, man. Let's get rid of those. It's
what's going on?
No, in the draft room, the pictures at the top, the profile pictures. You don't see that?
I don't see that.
Yeah. I never understood it, but whatever. You see it? Anyways.
I don't see it. I'll check.
So Taylor went at 10, Cup went at 11, the first receiver off the board. In the 12 spot, back-to-back quarterbacks, Dak Prescott goes off with Derek Carr. Anything surprise you guys, or anything, out of the norm in the first round?
Derek Carr surprises me. Yeah, I guess that's not the first round, but
it comes early. Brady goes after him. So Carr's been coming back more in the middle to the back end of the second in these drafts. Yeah. Brady is going in that range.
Yeah. This Carr doesn't shock me, but I think I would have gone Brady or somebody, another quarterback there. Oh, yes. Now,
Wheeler's happy about something.
I'm going to buy the dip.
Oh, for sure. You got to buy the dip.
It makes like
Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good buy.
I still have him above. Well, I guess I got to have him behind Brady, but I definitely still have him above Carr. And actually, Lance would have been good there too. I would have preferred Lance, no doubt, but I didn't expect to get him.
Oh man.
Yeah, Stafford's tendonitis for a football player or for a quarterback is going to be a whole lot different than it is for a pitcher. A quarterback's motion is much more like a catcher, and actually Matthew Stafford was a catcher in high school for Clayton Kershaw. So the tendonitis should not affect him as much as it would, say, a pitcher in baseball or anybody in baseball, really. The motion's just different. And he can get a shot pregame and be fine as long as it doesn't puncture his lung. We're all good.
What's up, FF Curator in the chat? I think he jumped into this one as well.
It looks like he is the 8 pick right next to me.
He's the 8 spot. Okay.
And he did. If he didn't go Justin Jefferson, let's say he went Stafford instead of Justin Jefferson, I would have gone J. Jeff there. I like J. Jeff as the 101 and a non-SuperFlex, just because when you come back on that 2-3 turn, there's some nice running backs sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah, I took Eckler. Don't have a lot of him just because he's usually going where I like taking either other positions but I do like him. I mean, he's a big part of probably one of the better offenses in this going into this season. In Charger land, he catches the ball. He's got all the goodness we know about. He's like the McCaffrey Jr. That you can get in the second round. So I like getting him here. Reading a Siegel article today on RotoViz, just talking about the wide receiver being lessened in this tournament, just the way the flex spot is offered now. So you basically get one less spot that you can put a receiver, right? Which is kind of the advantage of going receiver heavy in the other FFPC drafts, which is normally the way I like to go. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Wheeler?
Yeah, I think I definitely I've been pushing myself to go more wide receiver heavy across the board in any draft. But I think the FFPC sets up a little bit differently than a start 3 wide receiver and then 1 extra flex. In most PPRs, you're going to use a wide receiver in your flex 85 to 90% of the time. Because there's two flex, well, this is one super flex and one other flex. You're most likely going to use the quarterback on the super flex, and tight end premium, you might see a tight end pop into the flex to run. It just sets up so that you don't need as many wide receivers on your roster is what it breaks down to. It takes away that one spot that's almost a guaranteed 85 to 90% wide receiver spot. You're up, JD.
Yeah, I'm on the clock.
You got choices, man. You got choices. There's some.
Yeah, I one offense I really like this year that I can't stop investing in is the Vikings. I just like everything about the direction that offense is going, the new regime in there. I think the weapons are going to pop. So I actually love getting Cook back this way because I was deciding between him and Eckler in that first pick. Pitts is gone. He's usually a guy I like to take if he lags a bit in the third. Love his upside in the tight end preems. Has that league winning upside, but so do Eckler and Cook. So I kind of like my start, different than what I've been doing normally. Jason or Wheeler, you're coming up, and then Jason started off with two QBs there, and he got his boy Trey Lance.
Yeah, I like that Lance pick. I love that Dalvin Cook pick. I would have picked Cook instead of Eckler. I was biting my tongue that whole time, and yeah, I was definitely eyeing Pitts up, hoping he might creep on back. It really looks to me like, all right, like we're hitting that next tier. Ugh. I got a running back staring at me in the face that I have very little of, but I do. I like that Vikings offense too. And I'm going to go there. Just because the last, 11 picks were non-quarterback?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll take a second.
Cousins is really nice value in these tournaments.
Stafford and Cousins have the same bye week. Oh, well. Not a big deal.
There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, you can. Now
I see the picture talking about.
Yeah.
Cousins is that kind of steady Eddie type guy. So, let's say Stafford is hurt. I got my Stafford at a discount, Kirk Cousins.
I don't think he's hurt. I started saying earlier with Stafford, there's a beat reporter from with LA saying, they could have just said that he's an old quarterback that just came off of a Super Bowl season and he took a day off, you know what I mean? And it would have been the same, that it's really not anything serious at all, that it was blown up type of deal. I don't know how true that is, but I guess he would know more than anyone else that I've listened to. So I'll take his word for it. But no, I like the Stafford Cousins. We talked about earlier, Murray, stackable pieces, Cousins also stackable pieces. Yeah, sometimes you have Justin Jefferson already picked up, but you don't necessarily need Jefferson to have a good Minnesota stack. And that's kind of what I like about it, because there's still pieces left that you can add to the puzzle that'll still benefit you with Cousins and that offense, but not necessarily with Jefferson.
The FF collator that's in the chat, yeah, I totally sniped him. He was going for the Jefferson Cousins stack for sure.
Oh yeah, right before. Right before. That was a proper snipe by Wheeler.
Yes.
Sorry, Henry's another guy that I see keep creeping down, and he's becoming a really nice value, as much as he's not someone I normally draft heavy, especially in the first round. When he's falling like this, third, fourth round, I mean, that's pretty good value.
That was definitely an option for me. But third round of a Superflex is second. Yeah, I guess it's fully.
What do you guys think about that 2 spot? He went Herbert, then Mark Andrews and Pitts. How do you think about these bully tight ends? I mean, that's super bully tight end.
It's super bully tight end. I don't know if I like it in SuperFlex.
Yeah, it's a little.
I can see it with the double flex or in a triflex. But I don't know. There's essentially one flex spot for position players, or like those tight ends. That second tight end is taken. He could have gotten a quarterback there. That, like, fill up your flex with. I don't know.
He could have taken Cousins there, or
right, or yeah, Cousins is going to outscore Pitts, right? Like, and that's what you're talking. You're talking about that flex spot. Yeah, it's going to definitely give him a positional advantage, and he doesn't have to draft another one. If he drafts another tight end, it's a mistake.
How do you feel about this Tua, Justin Field, Trevor Lawrence tier with the quarterbacks? Is that something you usually grab as quarterback 2? Is it? Oh, sorry, you're coming up right now. Actually,
I'm coming up, but
Jason with Henry value, and he stacks Kittle with Lance. I like what he's doing so far.
Yeah, I like that stack. Like, I don't like Kittle as much on his own, but in a stack with Lance, I think it's going to work out for him. Kamara, I was hoping would come back to me, but I'm still a Mike Evans fan here. Like, he's the only Buccaneer that's not hurt, isn't he?
Bastard took Higgins. Yeah, he's got Burrow though. Can't blame him.
Yeah.
All right. One guy I seem to like a little more than ADP is AJ Brown. I think I'm going to take AJ Brown here as my wide receiver 1. I love AJ Brown this year.
Yeah. I think we talked about that on Friday. He and Hurts got that
yep.
The best friends going to Disney World. I don't know what it was. Shower narrative, whatever you want to call it.
The shower narrative.
Yeah, they seem to be good friends. So those kind of narratives actually have an effect on the way players play.
I think between those two positions, especially.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Landry,
and then add in the money.
Not too much. Yeah, and then add in the money. There you go.
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't realize I was on mute. But my last pick,
we thought your takes were like on fire, but then we
exactly. My last pick, I wanted Kamara. I thought Kamara, and I heard you guys on the other podcast talking about Kamara, the NFL doesn't. I just don't see him, even though they pushed his court case back. I just don't see them suspending him later in the season. I think they'll wait till next year, like they do every kind of thing, to where it's like Kamara is such crazy good value right now, just because everybody's not quite sure yet what's going to happen legally with him.
Yeah, I agree. I like Kamara.
Yeah.
I should have been grabbing him when he was falling to the 4th round. But I was hesitant at that point too. I thought for sure there would be video that came out. Apparently there's a court order that the video is not to be released. Like, apparently when, I forget who it was one of the early got caught on video. It was somehow released by either attorney or the police, but only because there wasn't a court order. There's been, I think it was the Tyreek Hill incident. There was video of, but there was a court injunction or something that took place that it couldn't be released by anybody, or they'd have consequences of some sort or something or other. I'm kind of talking out my ass now, but I heard something on a podcast where Drew Davenport was talking to, I don't know, I listened to 50 different podcasts, but Drew Davenport knows his stuff when it comes to the legal stuff in the NFL. And he was saying that the reason the video hasn't come out is that there's some sort of court injunction. And if maybe if it comes out, like all of a sudden criminal charges can't be pressed of some sort. So I got to listen to it again. But yeah, I think at this point, Kamara's pretty safe. And I've been scooping him in the second round of your non-Superflex drafts. Mid-second.
Jason, I keep muting you because there's like a squeaking noise. So that's when you're like not speaking. So that's why I'm muting you, FYI. So if you got to speak, just unmute. So we're starting the 5th right now. Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence just went off the board. This guy stacked Herbert with Keenan Allen and Williams, and he had the 2 tight ends. I mean, pretty cool start. If you want to be different in a tournament like this.
To stack with Herbert, yeah. I like that move with Herbert. I do not like that move with any other situation.
There's been a few teams I've been able to build with Herbert, Eckler, Williams, and Allen. There's only a few offenses that we all know are going to be that top tier offense, and the Chargers are definitely one of them.
Agree. And it's such a consolidated target share. Like, yeah, Palmer, I guess it's Josh Palmer, right? Yeah. But I almost think Guyton's probably gonna skim off the top of his like he did in previous years. But
what about Everett?
Oh yeah, Everett too. But Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are gonna get the lion's share of the touches or the targets. I like that stack. I guess you could throw it in Everett later. Oh, that's my pick, isn't it? Shoot. Well,
I was hoping Williams would fall back to me, stack him with Eckler, and think this guy would go back to back, but kind of like it.
All right, I'm gonna get this guy because I didn't last time. I want to make up for. I want to make up for my fault.
I have so much Sutton, man, and guys that I was getting so much cheaper that it's hard now to justify.
I have a ton of them too. DJ Moore is gone, and if you remember on Friday, I went and drafted Zeke ahead of Sutton. I wasn't going to make that mistake.
Right. That's right.
There is another running back that I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe I should have gone that way.
I know which one you're talking about.
But it is what it is. I just don't want to hear it again. And there's no chance of stacking them either. So it's probably the wrong move now, even though it was the right move Friday. And actually, that's the guy I was looking at, Nick Chubb.
Back-to-back snipes. Back-to-back snipes. Oh my gosh.
There is another guy like Nick Chubb going this late just doesn't make sense to me. Like, especially with the Hunt trade rumors. Like, I don't think Hunt is going to get traded, but Nick Chubb has been the RB11 despite being out 3 or 4 games in the past 2 years. He's an RB1 no matter how you slice it. I definitely need I think Nick Chubb was probably the right pick over Sutton, but I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice.
Well, because you have that McCaffrey early first pick, it kind of makes sense for you to go Sutton there, and then if you do go Chubb, it takes away a little bit of that.
Absolutely, it's definitely a lesson learned from last draft, right? So, and at the end of last draft, that was my biggest mistake, is that I took Zeke over Sutton.
Check out Renegade, man. JT, Kelsey, and then he hammers Mixon, Kamara, and Zeke.
Zeke is where he makes the mistake.
Agreed.
That seems to be the theme this year. Now, don't get me wrong. I think in the non-Superflex drafts where Zeke's going in the 4th round, that's a value.
But the fact that he went ahead of Hall surprises me.
Yes, that too.
That's who I thought you were talking about when you were talking about Chubb. I thought you were talking about Hall.
Yeah, I saw him.
I thought you were talking about Hall as well.
Yeah.
He was the 1B. I was eyeing up Chubb, but it saw Hall there too. So I was kind of
Cool.
like,
Question for you guys, because you got a comment, or I got a comment here about stacking Connor. I have Murray. I passed. I'm not big on stacking running backs with quarterbacks, especially if it's a running quarterback. I feel like it maybe caps a ceiling there. On what do you guys? How do you guys feel about combining those two for a stack? Those two positions.
I personally I like because no matter what, you're getting a score, right? Ain't that the logic? Like they're either gonna throw for a touchdown or they're gonna run for a touchdown. And Connor seems to have a firm grasp on that that offense as a running back. So me personally, even with Murray, but Murray doesn't. Jalen Hurts takes away from Sanders or any running back within a red zone or within that 10 yards. But Murray's not that guy. I think I like Connor and Murray as a combo stack.
Yeah, if I didn't have two running backs already, that's where I was going. But because I had Eckler and Dalvin, I definitely wanted to lock up a solid second receiver there.
That's what I was going to say. As a third running back in the first few, your third running back before you got your second receiver, no, thank you. But
yeah,
I like the stack, just not in your situation. You got two running backs. Yeah.
All right, cool. So Jason's up. He went McLaurin in the 5th round as your first receiver after taking Henry, Kittle, stacked with Lance, and then Russell Wilson was the first pick. Which way is Jason gonna go here in the 6th round? Dude, oh, we lost him too. He's gone. Oh, I wonder if his internet cut. He's gonna get timed out.
His son turned on the PlayStation.
His son's for sure playing PlayStation. Deontay Johnson, there it is. He's another guy that if you need, like, you waited on receiver, he's a guy that kind of lags. Him and Waddle, I find, are good value.
Yeah, I definitely. There's a few good receiver values here.
I'm surprised that Tua, the 11 spot, didn't take Waddle there instead of a 4th quarterback with Winston. That's kind of interesting.
See, this is. I'm not. I could totally make you scream here, JD.
What, you sniping me or what?
I'm not going to do it.
You do what you got to do, man.
That's the direction you should definitely go, though. So normally I would go there. I think I'm just going to shift my philosophy a little bit here and double down on the Rams.
Yeah, you have. Oh, that's different. I thought you were going to go another there.
Oh, yeah, I could have.
With
yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that he's actually going to make it all the way back to me.
And
yeah,
I know
I've gone the other way. That would have been the better way to go, probably. Yeah, it definitely would have been.
See, I had a backup plan if you did snipe me or someone else did, but he's sitting there, so I have to take him now as my wide receiver 3. I mean, I love it. I love it right now.
How didn't I see that? Like, and this is what I would say is, like, I do far fewer FFPC than I do other drafts.
Yeah.
And just familiarity with the draft room can make you slip up like I just did.
Yep.
And I was like, I have them in my queue. I was looking at it. Sometimes streaming can make you do it too, right? That's all right. And I was just looking at the other options at that position and liking them too. Ooh. And this is the thing about Superflex. Like, I'm like, ooh, I see these position guys. Oh, don't forget about.
Yeah.
maybe grabbing that 30th quarterback off the board. Or not the 30th, like the
There
20th.
goes A-Rob off the board. That's why I thought you might be eyeing there.
That's probably the direction I should have gone. And that guy, he's got to bring back on that week 17 LA stack. Team 2 is building a nice team there.
Yeah, I like what he did, considering he started with the 2 tight ends. He's really balancing it out nicely.
He's done this before.
Oh, for sure.
He got me talking shit, and then now he's coming back like, oh, you don't know what I got the last
Yeah, with a vengeance.
Oh. And being close to the turn, you can plan that out, right? Like that only works when you're at the turns.
You can't do it in the middle.
Right. I would think he has to go running back here now. I think there's a running back worth taking as your RB1. He could go quarterback, though, too. No, he covered with the receivers.
7th round. Yep. Adds Juju. He's going for that case. Or no, that's, what am I thinking? That's he's going for the LA. He's got the LA stat going.
Oh, yeah. And this is what we were talking about. I thought he was going to go running back or quarterback there, because what we were talking about earlier with the less of an emphasis on receiver in these drafts. And that's probably where I'm going a little bit wrong. Like on just about any other platform, I'm not even thinking about it. I would go A-Rob over Akers 90% of the time. But this format, I tend to want that second running back over a third receiver. I don't know.
So my backup plan, if you took Brown, was to do what the 4 spot did, was to try to stack Goff and TJ Hawk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I don't mind getting the last guy in what I feel is the last guy in a tier at quarterback. I mean, you could maybe throw in a couple of more guys in there, but I don't hate having the upside with Wilson as my QB2 this late, especially when I gobbled up 5 positional players in between.
Yeah, you did.
This is going to be a hard draft to win. Just looking at the other teams, there's no one really that, I mean, you've got the 4 running back start. We'll see how he balances that out. He's got Kelsey. He doesn't have 1 quarterback yet. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, but he's definitely differentiating.
I probably shouldn't go this direction. Oh, shit. I just timed out. What the hell did I do?
You got Goddard. It's not bad.
All right. I'll take that.
Oh, you sniped Buddy again. Because he has Hurts.
That was a total timeout.
He was for sure going Goddard there.
I don't understand how I even did that, but that's fine. I have Goddard. I have a ton of Goddard. I talked them up in our last draft. But yeah, that wasn't the direction I was thinking about going at all there.
Yeah,
I totally sniped him again. But
I mean, you probably weren't planning on taking tight end here, just looking at your build, but it could be, you could have worse than
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I have no complaints about actually. If I'm going to time out, that's just fine.
So Jason took Tannehill, and we have in the chat specifically. Oh, where was it? Oh, right here. Can someone tell me why Tanny is going this late? They added Burks, Woods, Hooper, Derrick Henry isn't dead, and then Jason takes him as his QB3 in the 7th.
Yeah, I don't know
one
why
mistake. the one mistake I've been doing lately in these super flexes is waiting too long for my QB3. I try to rely just pray that my QBs are healthy. And I go 2 QB heavy, and then very rarely I slide in like a cheaper, but QBs in this one are going a lot faster than in the other ones.
Yeah.
But then I get to pair him up with Henry, just like I was talking about earlier, where with Tannehill and Henry, I'm getting points every time they score, and they still have man, what does Vegas have, Matt? Like 26 points per game. So, and like you guys are saying, Woods and everybody else, yeah, he was a good value for my third QB, and that's been my biggest mistake in these super flexes is not getting a good third QB.
The chat's liking your Tennessee stack. Henry and Tannehill, great value on both of them. Can't disagree. All right, so we're in the 8th round. Montgomery, Mooney goes off the board. Renegades, Jason's back on the clock.
Hey, watch. I don't know if I can do that. I'm debating because I'm not. It's either Elijah Mitchell.
You realize?
Oh, but I really like some Elijah Moore.
That's let him talk.
I really like some. But yeah.
Yeah, I like the Tannehill pick, and I can't answer why he is going so late, except for the fact that everybody.
Well, I think just because he lost AJ Brown, right?
Yeah,
100%.
And that we were talking earlier. Like, I don't think the asthma is a problem for Burks.
See, Wheeler, Jason doesn't mind his manners like you do. He sniped me. He didn't give a shit. He took more there. He's like, I invite him on, comes on.
Hey, you got me multiple times on the last one we did. So,
all right, what am I doing here?
I'm the dumbass. I should have gotten the A-Rob there anyway. So, but I like Michael Thomas. I think he's going too late. Well, I mean, now he's appropriate. He was going much later earlier in the season, but I don't see any reason why he can't outperform ADP at this point still.
So, Twitter's been really hyping up Michael Thomas. I've been so scared of Michael Thomas. I've grown a little bit more because before I was thinking Michael Thomas is going to be the next Antonio Brown, right? Like he's going to flash, but then all it's going to take is him not getting targeted or him not, and I can see because we know that Michael Thomas is slightly crazy, right? So I can see if something is not going his way where he's going to turn into that diva and I've been off Michael Thomas, but the reports lately are him of just doing very well and showing out in camp.
Yeah, I have a theory that Michael Thomas was sick and tired of Drew Brees at a certain point and all of a sudden pulled up lame because he was done with Brees. I know they had a falling out and they supposedly kissed and made up, but it just seems to me the timing where he started to really fall off or get hurt and not get the surgery right away, it all happened right around the time they had the fallout. So I think Michael Thomas I think he wants to prove something. Like you can see by his tweets, he wants to prove people wrong. He's pissed. Yeah, MT is more like TO, famous J. I like that. What do we got going on here?
All right, we're end of the 8th. Last quarterback off the board in this round were Baker at the beginning of the round. Mariota just went off the board. AJ Dillon, Tony Pollard, last couple running backs. Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Drake London just went off the board. So we're going into the 9th round right now.
I was definitely where I timed out on that Goddard pick. Quarterback was definitely in my sights. I was thinking also that Baker Mayfield would make it back. Baker Mayfield's been my late round guy since he's signed with Carolina. I've been able to stack him with DJ Moore a ton though too, and I don't have BJ in this one, so it wasn't very urgent. But
he's got a lot of proof, and he's got weapons all around him with Moore and McCaffrey, and McCaffrey, like we talked about earlier, is like a secret weapon, right? If he stays healthy, he's just a receiving machine. So then Robbie Anderson, like we just talked about, MT is kind of doing well in camp. But yeah, in Superflex, I'm a big fan.
Hoping
Mayfield.
Mitchell would fall to me there. I couldn't believe he kept falling.
yeah, I haven't been that high on Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, but it's a 2-round, two-round value. He's going in the 7th.
Holy cow. After Pollard and Singletary, yeah.
49er fan, right? And I follow every day of camp, every day of everything 49ers. And other running backs are doing well, but all I keep hearing about is how well Elijah Mitchell is going. And he is just such good value for where he's going on a team that is going to be a running team. Like, that's what they're going to be. And then add in Trey Lance, like you guys were talking about earlier, like, are we worried about Trey Lance taking touchdowns? But Elijah Mitchell, to me, as a 49er fan who's been paying attention to everything that's going on, he's been looking really good in camp. He's put on some weight. If he stays healthy, and Shanahan likes to use, everybody's like, oh, Shanahan wants to use, did he make it to me? Yes.
I just grabbed the stack.
Mitchell's going to be great.
Nice. I like that.
Here he is.
I like that, Wheeler.
And
oh, you got sniped.
Who did?
I thought you did. I thought you were going Burks there.
Nope.
Oh, your boy Ayuk.
Nice.
Very nice little back.
He's, speaking of camp, he's been the highlight of all 49ers camp all off season.
Well, he's
180-degree turn from last year.
Say that again.
180-degree turn from last year.
He learned from last year.
This year he's a superstar.
But he's also got a quarterback that can get him the ball now too. So,
and him and Lance, just like we were talking about the AJ Brown and the Hurts best friends doing what they're doing. Even going back to last year, Ayuk was working with Trey Lance. This year in the offseason, working with Trey Lance, where Debo is working on his contract. Ayuk's trying to get that contract now as well, where Debo just got paid. Now Ayuk's trying to get that contract. I like where Ayuk's going. I would not be surprised if Ayuk outscores Debo this year in fantasy points.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. You got to remember, last year Ayuk was going ahead of Debo, in most drafts anyway, early drafts. But yeah, I definitely like Ayuk. I like him better than my Thielen pick. I just went with Thielen to get the stack, but yeah, I think Ayuk's gonna way outperform ADP this year.
I'm not buying Debo at cost this year. Me personally.
No, I'm not buying him either. Yeah, they should be closer together.
If you watch the splits of Debo when Kittle and Ayuk were both, like after Ayuk was in the doghouse, after Kittle got healthy, Debo's receiving. What saved Debo was his rushing, and I think that Debo is not going to do as well this year as people are thinking. I'm off Debo completely, really.
At cost, I can see that. Like if Debo, where'd he go here? It's hard to
I'm with you on that, Jason. I was saying that the other day. It's like the whole when you buy deodorant for $3.99, you can't buy it at $8.99 type of thing. You know, I had so much Debo the last 2 years, and then now it's just second round. There's too many guys I like better, and that offense is going to change a bit. You know, you got a whole different quarterback now, so.
And I think they're going to want to control Lance a little bit. Lance is going to have good games, but then Lance are going to have some bad games. But they want to be a power run offense. Why I like Mitchell as well. But I'm saying this as I have Kittle and IU tagged with, with Lance. But that's why I like Mitchell as well. But then I got the tag up Woods with Tannehill as well. Wheeler killed my draft by getting Sutton.
That's what I'm here for. Because I'm not going to be a success on my own. I need to kill others. I've drafted this guy for maybe the third time in well over 100 drafts today. I'm going to get him again. I just feel like he's going too late at this point. CEH. There's another guy I was eyeing up, but I don't know. I just feel like 10th round in a super flex is what, 8th round otherwise.
A lot of running backs in this range here that I really like. Just trying to figure out which one I want to take.
There's another one I usually get. I think at this point I might be just in my head evening out exposure. But,
yeah, that's the guy that I usually take. I'm not going to take, but if he comes back, I might take him. I'm going to go with this guy. I don't know what happens to him, but.
All right, you can say his name now. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm.
All right, okay. I'm sitting here going, wait, I don't see anything popping up. What's going on here?
All right, I'm going to take Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, that's the guy.
I do like him as an RB3 in this. I like a lot of these running backs. Like there's so many running backs in this range that are attractive. There's one that I've been hammering a lot in the last couple of weeks. So I kind of took the pedal off here. Yeah, there you go. Stevenson. Been grabbing him a lot as my RB3.
I like Hunt way over Steve. Well, I mean, I like Stevenson too. Don't get me wrong, but
it depends on the build, right?
Right.
I think.
And here's the thing too, like the CEH over Hunt, I almost never do that. Like I literally, it might have been the first time today where that was a decision. And I'm like, oh, that's actually a decision now. CEH is falling. But yeah, Hunt is usually 9 times out of 10 is the guy I'm getting in this range. RB3, round 8, 9, 10 in a super flex. Yeah, last year he's going in the 5th, 6th round, and there was a debate: should he go in the 5th or 6th? And yeah, he could go in the 6th round. There's no reason to value him really anything less than AJ Dillon. I think he should be going more in that range, in the AJ Dillon, J.K. Dobbins, David Montgomery range.
Yeah, like at the back end of that tier there.
Yeah.
So so you were not worried about the trade request? Are we thinking that his trade request is going to be given, or we're just thinking about him in that offense?
If he goes to the Chiefs, I'm happy because then I crush Wheeler's CEH value and then take over that offense. It's perfect.
Do you think Kansas City would have the balls to bring him back?
Hilarious.
Like, I just don't. Like, don't get me wrong. They cut him quick. They were just like, screw you. Nope, we're not gonna have it. And like, the NFL hubris, I just don't see them You're going, you know what? That was a mistake. Come on, come back. But
Actually, I think it's perfect for them to bring him back, right? They got rid of him because, his off the field issues. But I think it would be smart for them to bring him back. He would be beloved in Kansas City. Like, I don't think NFL teams think like that. I think, hey, bring back Hunt. He knows the system. He knows everything that's going on. Like, I think it would be smart for Kansas City to do it. I just don't think they'll do it just because of the running backs they have. And
with my Alberto, man. Come on, son.
I was hoping he made it to me. He was in my queue for my pick at 11:09.
I was really hoping for Alberto there, but that's all good.
I don't know. The point you made about the other tight end there got me scared off Alberto a little bit. If Dulcich is going to play mostly receiver and Alberto is a good blocker, he'll get stuck there. I mean, he still has value.
You're going to hate me, Wheeler, but I got to take this guy.
I figured, and I'm not that disappointed. Like,
yeah, I got to take him here.
I was contemplating them last round. I didn't think he would come back. If he did come back, he was next to my queue. I was definitely going to take him.
Either him or Alberto. I usually alternate, but I was hoping to get Alberto here.
Please, one of you explain to me the Irv Smith love. I have 0 shares. I'm just with Thielen, Jefferson, Cook, and then
you got to be sold. You got to be sold on the idea that the offense takes a huge step from last year.
But even then, their offense was good last year. But yeah, I just don't see the upside with Irv Smith. But by all means, please talk me into it.
Well, there's going to be a higher emphasis on the aerial game, and Irv Smith has literally no competition at tight end, unless there's somebody I just don't know about. You made a weird sound there, Wheeler.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. Totally. I'm just trying to make a pick here.
Oh, you're on the clock. You're on the clock. There it is.
Awful. I do not want to make this pick. That's all I see right now.
Yeah, I like how he's kind of falling.
Yeah, I mean, I already have Mike Evans and I don't have Tom Brady, but when Gage is healthy, he'll be fine, right? Like, so he pulled up lame with a little hammy. Is it a 2-week hamstring or is it a 8-week hamstring? Either way,
never know with a hamstring.
We'll see. Tom Brady wanted him. We were drafting him, or I saw him going in the 6th round.
Gotta buy the dip, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta buy the dip there.
Take that.
Even Lockett here is nice value at receiver.
I was hoping Chase Edmonds would come back to me. Actually,
I love Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, even if he gets 50% of the carries and I don't know, let's say 70% of the running back receptions, 80% of the running back receptions, those are the value points. He'll be in when it counts. 2-minute drill, it'll be Edmonds. Like that's where you get your fantasy points from. And the offense should be good. Like I think people
it's going to be very good. And then McDaniels, bring in McDaniels' offense, which is again very, very run creative offense where Chase Edmonds can receive and rush. I think Edmonds is one of the better running back values you can get right now in drafts.
We got pointing out that Team 2 doesn't have a running back yet. That's a serious 0 RB action roster there.
See, like that's going way too far. Like he's just gonna have to go like 7 straight running backs, 8 straight running backs to finish this thing out. I just think that's overkill. Like he could have gotten Stevenson. Probably would have. Where he could have gotten either Singletary or Elijah Mitchell, where he got Watson as his second quarterback.
How do you guys feel like in a SuperFlex league having a QB naked, right? Like you're not able to do
stack 'em with anything?
anything. Yeah.
I think it depends on the quarterback. Some of them are okay like that because they'll spread the ball a bit more.
I hate that I have Russell Wilson naked right now.
But see,
But you don't need to. There's still
guys left, but
there's
he's
still-
also
there's-
he could easily be spreading that ball around where you don't necessarily miss out.
that like I don't mind waiting until the last 3-4 rounds to get my quarterback's third, fourth, fifth receiver of some sort. Like an injury, all of a sudden that wide receiver or even a running back to stack with the quarterback. In your case, there's a second tight end there that you can get super late. I was going to say you could have, like, Melvin Gordon isn't really a stack there. Ooh, I might have to shift my thinking here.
Wait, Melvin. Oh, you must have meant earlier because I was saying Melvin Gordon's not available right now.
No, he went right before.
Yeah, of course. Every one of the Broncos players I went right before I got the pick.
My bad.
No, it's fine. And I was telling JD this the other day. I sent him a text message. I'm like, in all the best balls sites that do best balls, FFPC, I see less stacking in FFPC than any other site. Me personally, in the drafts that I'm in, way less stacking than I see in other sites.
I just continued to run.
Little tight end run there. Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett.
I've been taking too long to decide. No, all right.
I think Hunter Henry is going to be Mac Jones. Again, we're talking about friendships, right, with QBs and the receivers. Mac Jones and Hunter Henry, all offseason, there's pictures and stuff of them hanging out and working out. I like Hunter Henry a lot this year as a sleeper tight end. And he just got such high touchdown production. I don't know. I like Hunter Henry a lot.
I'm with you. He's kind of a steady Eddie. I'm trying to think. I can't remember off the top of my head how many touchdowns he had last year.
Yeah.
So every time, oh goodness, what's the wide receiver's name that has
Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, he got all Jacoby Myers touchdowns, right? Like Jacoby Myers had like over 100 targets with like one touchdown all year. It took him like 4 years of his career to score a touchdown because Hunter Henry was grabbing them all. That's kind of joking.
He just has a connection. But Hunter Henry has a connection with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jonnu got all the money, and I mean Henry got paid too. But they just seem to have a connection that I like a lot.
He looks for him in the end zone, plain and simple, and that's where touchdowns like that get their points. Like Hunter Henry's a good athlete too. He just gets hurt every year, and he's your second tight end. So absolutely, definitely like the pick.
We got a comment in the chat about running QBs are much more comfy naked.
Yeah, see that I get, like your Jalen Hurts, your Murrays, even your Trey Lance. I get that, but Russell Wilson, he's not a running QB, at least not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
I mean, you might see it, no, you probably won't. But I still think there's opportunity to sneaky stack them. And you got a full blown stack the other way with tight end and Ayuk and Lance. So I think you could sneaky stack Wilson still at the end. Not that I'm like.
Oh, I'm eyeing it down. I know what you're saying, but
I did it in Friday's draft. I sneaky stacked Russ. I mean, I was able to get Albert O, but there's another guy I got. So, you know, and he's usually going pretty cheap. And I'll shut up about it now, so maybe it'll happen.
Yeah, that was a good podcast you guys had. You guys, JD's been killing it lately with the podcast. I like the high stakes stuff. I like the people that's been brought on. I thoroughly enjoy the GOAT District podcast, and I'm not just saying that just to say it, JD.
Appreciate that, man. No, big shout out to the boys, man. The team's been killing it. Theo's been out there killing it. Dan, Andrew, just trying to get the best people on here we can, you know, to help our audience get better. I'm hoping this one guy falls to me. We'll see what happens here. What happens with Super Nasty likes to squeeze the clock.
I have one guy as well that
I took Gainwell there. I was hoping, I love taking him just around earlier. One of my favorite running backs this year that I've been gobbling up. And this pick I started planning for in the 8th round. I don't have a lot of Amari Cooper at all, but whispers of Jimmy G going there. I got Kareem Hunt. I'm going to grab Jimmy G right here as my QB3. Booyah. Send him to Cleveland, boys. Send him to Cleveland.
regardless if he goes to Cleveland or not, I love Jimmy as like just your cheapest of cheap QBs in a super flex because he's either going to get cut or traded, and then
agreed.
He's gonna end up starting on wherever he goes. I just think he's in the super flex as your third QB as a shot. It's better than taking a backup QB or a rookie QB that has to compete with a veteran wide receiver. I mean, a veteran QB. But yeah, Jimmy's great value in these.
All right. So
I got him queued up. Willer, if you do it, I'm leaving this podcast. I'm leaving YouTube. I'm not even going to draft him.
There's no way you got this guy in your list. I'm just doing it to cover my ass for a third. There's no way. I just think this guy is going to start more guys. Geno Smith, I think, is going to start more games than Locke.
There it is.
Yeah, he was the other one. Ugh.
There it is.
Oh, that isn't you, though. No, he was. No. I should be looking that direction, though.
Hey, but see, that's what's scary is because if Jimmy does get cut, I can definitely see Seattle being a spot he lands in as well. That's what scares me off about either Locke or Geno.
Yeah, that's a good point. See, now I'm all. I had another guy I was watching, but I should have gotten the quarterback much earlier.
Well,
that got it. Should have been a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean Stafford and Cousins. You're just trying to fill that 1 week, right? That week 7, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think that's a nail. I don't think that's a nail in the coffin.
No, I mean we're in
the double bye week for a QB. But
if you had taken Lockett instead of Gage there, that would have held a little more weight with the Geno pick.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah. So you took Gage over Lockett. Lockett's value is so crazy. Why is it that Lockett has fell so far?
Well, the quarterback situation isn't sexy, right? So
it's not just that it wasn't sexy. It's like
it's confusing.
So much of his performance is like on busted plays where he had that connection with Russ. Like, I think there was a large percentage of Lockett's yards, anyway, receiving yardage came from busted plays where he would just scramble around and get open for Russ, and Russ would know where to look for him. And I think that's the narrative on why Russ leaving hurts Lockett the most. I think it's well overblown, and you're right. I probably should have gone Lockett instead of Gage. I just, for some reason, he's a name that I'm not looking at this year, and that's a mistake. That is why I like drafting with other people and hearing what they have to say, is because
zero shares of Gage, because now that Julio is there and Godwin seems to be on track for one, plus Evans, I just don't see where Gage is going to I just don't see the upside with Gage, me personally.
My disappointment with the Geno Smith pick is that I was looking at Ingram and Njoku, and that's where I should have gone. I should have gotten with that third tight end that I'm comfortable with. Now, all right, there's some tight ends late that I can grab, but I would have been happier getting a tight end there. Geno Smith would have continued to slide. And now, what am I looking at? I could go there. I could go there. A lot of places I could go. Nothing too exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing here. You're just trying to fit something into your roster build. You know,
This is a guy I think we all like.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it. Do it.
JJ Zachariason was talking him up today, so I got to do it.
Herbert.
Little A Bear.
Yeah, that's probably he's probably my second or third most owned running back.
Yeah. Yeah, we all like him. We all, for obvious reasons.
All right, what am I doing here?
Oh, here we go. There's some running backs I like again.
All right, I'm gonna do something here.
And now it's time for these receivers. They're all value again.
Yeah, the value in this draft right now is wide receivers. Man, I don't know how I feel about me having 3 rookie running backs.
Drafting this rookie right here, Jalen Tolbert, Dallas, just too easy.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you remember in our first GOAT League rookie draft this year when I drafted Tolbert over Wandale? Y'all were like, what? What did you do that for?
That's the OG?
Yeah.
I think I got him in the super GOAT because I got him in one of those. Yeah, that's a good grab. Well, the nice thing about him is he should pop
myself on the back now while I got the chance, right?
he should pop early. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna get the opportunity early.
And that was actually my thinking then, is that I from the beginning I have 0 Gallup because I don't think he's back until week 8. If he's back. Yeah.
And then add in building up the relationship with Dak as well through that time. And even if Gallup does come back, well, you know, now all of a sudden Dak has this connection with him to where it's like, oh, maybe that's a little bit harder to break.
Yeah.
No, I like him as well. Tolbert's in that round of wide receivers. I like him a lot. I love all the wide receivers. Like this, where we're at right now with the wide receivers available.
Yeah.
This is why running back, I understand running back heavy in the beginning. Everybody wants to, it's popular to be wide receiver heavy early in the drafts and best balls. But I mean, just look, I like, gosh, so many wide receivers that are still available.
Yeah, I agree. I've come with I've started to get, oh, there goes you got naked Russ now. I've started to think that 4 wide receivers at the top is optimal. 5 is fine. But you don't need more than that because you can get 4 or 5 in the last 6 rounds. Like that you'll like getting at their price.
I'm going to wait another 2 rounds, but I'm just going to remember, all right, 15th round, and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about when it comes to wide receivers. But I'll wait until at least 2 rounds go. I just got to remember 15th late 15th, early 16th round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
Starting at about the 15th round, they're actually the 14th in this one. There are some really nice wide receiver values. And some dart throw, like McKenzie was not even being drafted until like a month ago. Yeah, during rookies, when he signed that contract, there was that burst where he was getting taken in drafts. But then after the NFL draft, and who did it?
Hey, I'm big on Brevin Jordan.
So
JD.
happy to get him there as my tight end too in the.
He's
15th.
yeah,
So
he
if
is.
If Tolbert wasn't there in the 14th, I would have stacked. Not to say too much because players are still on the board, but
Yeah, I know that's what
that was a stack I was trying to do, but I couldn't pass up Tolbert there. It's just too juicy.
Yeah. And so,
but Brevin is I just his upside is up there, right? There's so many targets. Where are these targets going to go outside of Cook, right? So
Yep.
he has just as good a chance as anybody else to build it. So yeah, Brevin Jordan is a great late tight end.
There's and we talked about this on the Friday show. Guys, go check that out. By the way, we haven't even like mentioned we're just drafting and we're $140 in this thing. Smash the like, guys. Smash the subscribe. We appreciate it. Help us get to 500 subs. We're almost there. You guys have been awesome in the chat. Check out our show last Friday. Wheeler was on. We had Dave Turp, Theo, the OG, Fantasy, 125 buy-in, 200K for first. And we talked about the late round stacks that you can build, that the sneaky stacks that are later in the drafts that are fun, maybe on the not so sexy offenses, but you can really sneak in some nice late round stacks in these drafts.
yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to do that right now with the Henry Devontae Parker stack.
Were you looking at Jacoby for that?
Yes, I was. I wanted to go Henry, Jacoby, Parker. Was my game plan for these next two picks if I was going to be in all honesty.
I would think you would get that. You know what? Like the only reason
I've got it quite a bit. It's just like you guys were talking about the late round stacks. The Patriots stack on all levels, Mac, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I enjoy that stack very much.
I feel like Myers usually goes a little bit earlier though. Like I was just sitting there looking at I think I've been looking at Myers for the past 3 or 4 rounds.
Agreed. And it's so funny when you brought up, you're like, oh, who was that wide receiver that got like 100 targets? I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that was what he was my target. But you know what? I'll take a shot on Devontae because again, that offense they're having troubles now, right? All of us hear it. They're having troubles, but or they're not executing where they need to be. But I think that ship's going to right itself, and that offense is going to be pretty decent this year. I like New England's offense.
I think they'll be decent. Like Jacoby Myers is the one guy I've been getting from there, though, and some Hunter Henry for sure. But all I'm thinking is they worked hard to try to get Myers that touchdown and finally got him one. Like the dam's going to break. Regression's going to hit. He's going to end up scoring those touchdowns where they're being called back for penalty or, just he stepped out or like he's just had the worst luck at scoring the touchdowns, and regression's going to hit if he keeps getting the targets. I don't see any reason why he won't continue to get the targets.
I agree. And with Parker coming over there, I took Parker hoping that hold on one second.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, to me, it all depends on whether Parker can build that relationship with Jones.
Just gonna say we're in the weeds now. We're in the 16th round. Got 5 rounds to go.
These are the dart throws. These are my guys, right? These are you've kind of got your construction on the path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I typically don't like doing pairing up running backs, but
at that late,
Marlon Mack and
shit. I was back
and
pocketing
Pierce.
some hell. I see what you did with the Mack and Pierce there.
I really wanted Tyron Davis to add to the Niners stack, but
yeah,
I
was contemplating TDP when I took Myers. I've liked TDP since I think I have him in 3 of my 4 Goat League dynasty drafts. I have him like 75 or 80% across my dynasty rosters. Just because I think he's going to get pretty much 30% easy off the top from day one. So
see, I don't know. Like, again, that, at least as someone who literally, I'm not joking. Every day I want to go through 49er stuff. That's my team. And man, all the running backs, every running back right now is doing very well in camp. You give me a 49er running back, I promise you, you go look them up on social media and you will find good reviews for every running back. And that's what's scary a little bit. Mitchell, clear cut, number 1. It's everything behind him that is just throw it up in the air and see what sticks. But with the running backs that are available now, he was somebody I wanted to target too.
Zamir White, another my guy. Got a lot of Zamir.
Yeah, I was hoping he would make it. It stinks. There's a few guys that JD knows are my guys.
Well, that's so hard. It's hard when you get in these drafts with guys. It's like when I draft with Dan and Theo and Andrew. We're all kind of, we have a lot of the same preferences.
Yeah, you guys are in each other's ear all the time.
Yeah,
but I mean, you guys got some baller guests on, bro. Like,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Holy shit!
How people don't realize what you offer and the knowledge of the guys that come on. You like, I don't listen to very many fantasy football podcasts anymore, but yours I listen to because you bring on such, like Willer was saying, ballers, man. Like guys that not a lot of people know about, but kill it. That's not the high knowledge or not high knowledge, high followers and stuff like that. But man, I'm a big fan, dude. I was telling you, it's a very good. The guests you have on are killer.
Appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
Like I said,
I went from a headliner to chopped liver.
Headliner from chopped liver. I need my sound effects, my air horn. So we're rolling, man. We're in the 17th round, starting the 17th round. The quarterbacks are kind of dripping away. There's like some leftovers, some crumbs in the plate. Paris Campbell was a guy I considered. What do you got? How do you guys feel about? I saw a comment about running backs on the same team, and we talked a bit about it. What about receivers on the same team? Do you guys see any benefits of doing that if you don't have the quarterback?
I don't see any drawbacks to it in best ball.
It depends on the offense, right? And I think Colts offense is going to be sneaky powerful. I mean, with Matt Ryan. And we still don't know who the number 2 wide receiver is going to be there, but Campbell's definitely running as the number 2 right now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think they're going to be better than most people expect, and it sounds like Well, Campbell is all about injuries, right? Like that's the only thing that's held him back. He had good draft capital. He is a hyper good athlete. He's got size, if I'm not mistaken. Like he's got all the tools. He's there, but he's just been injured and some rather obscure, kind of not common injuries from what I remember off the top of my head. I could be wrong about that. It's probably a hamstring or something, but for some reason in my head, it's like he's just had some odd injuries that have really taken him out of it for extended periods. You get
who was that, Wheeler?
Campbell.
Oh, Campbell. Yeah, no, that's why I asked, because yeah, he's definitely been bit with the injury bug. I grabbed his teammate Mo Ali Cox, stacked him with Pittman. I like Cox at his value. I mean, tight end premium, he can return really nicely.
Yeah, you're Cox.
But Alec Pierce is getting some buzz too for the Colts. I wanted to make sure he was already taken before I said anything about him.
Yeah, good call. The etiquette, good call.
But Alec Pierce I like him a lot. I've actually been backdoor stacking the Colts as well with Matt Ryan and either Pierce or Campbell.
I heard it. Was that for Jerick McKinnon or Marvin Jones?
Let's see.
Neither. No, I was looking at what's left. I was there just seconds ago. So Marvin Jones is another my guy.
I know. I started talking and let's see.
Yeah, I got in the same predicament. Oh shit. Yeah, Marvin Jones, like just another guy in that Jacksonville offense that survived.
That's who I wanted, was Marvin Jones.
All right, good.
He can get you like a couple spike weeks, like those are the guys in this round. You're hoping they give you 2 or 3 spike weeks.
I mean, not only that, it could be the wide receiver one there, right?
Yeah, you got Jones and Myers that after the 15th round can both be wide receiver ones in their rightful offenses.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't mind going running back heavy at the top sometime. Or grabbing, I would rather grab a premium tight end somewhere in that mix. But FFPC, they go quicker.
I've been totally off of Logan Thomas. Either one of you guys like Logan Thomas at all for any reason?
I like him. Again, just like we were talking about, who's going to be the second target? Logan Thomas right now is injured.
Well, I keep forgetting you're in the 9th spot. I didn't even see you took him. There you go. Yeah, tell me why you like him. There you go.
So
he just put his foot in his mouth. That's all.
No. Again, that's another offense. Who do we know is going to be the second wide receiver there?
Yeah.
And he's injured now, but my third tight end, I'll take that.
Yeah, I early on when I thought Logan Thomas was going to be back relatively soon or early in the season, I was definitely scooping him up in these late rounds. But from what I understand, that he had, I have to go back and look and see what the injuries were. But I believe it was like 2 semi-major injuries. That it's going to take him longer than just 6 weeks or so at the beginning of the season. Like there's questions as to whether he's actually going to come back.
Hey, I was debating him and Conklin, who in this format, Conklin's very good. A lot of positive things coming out.
I thought he'd fall to me here. I was going to take him as my 4th tight end to stack him with Zach Wilson. I didn't realize he would go a little earlier. There's a few guys that I kind of should have taken. The other one I was hoping would fall is Eno Benjamin. as the RB2 right now in
Hey,
Arizona.
we've talked about that too, where again, he was one of my, but I'm going to go this late. I'm going to take just like I was talking about with the Niners. Trey Sherman's been doing well in camp.
Yep.
And he was a 3rd round pick last year. So just because he didn't do whatever, he was in a doghouse like Ayuk, but just like we were talking about with Payne, same with Sherman. They're both 3rd round picks. One was last year, one was this year. And it's just going to come down to a camp battle.
He's also been working out with Dalvin, I believe.
Yes.
So I heard that, and that makes sense.
He's come into camp. He's come into camp very in shape. Shanahan has actually spoken highly about him and saying that he's done better. But as a dart throw running back right now with no running backs available, I'll take it.
I'm kind of torn between some hype and somebody JD was talking about. I'm grabbing Jonnu, gonna stack him with Myers and see what happens there. You said last year they paid. Was it last year or 2 years ago now? I guess
Last year.
Was it last year they paid Henry and Jonnu?
Yeah, but Jonnu got the bigger end of that money for sure.
Right, and I believe I've heard a report lately that they're lining him up all over the place, like they initially talked about when they signed him. So I don't know. Cross my fingers. That's a dart, right? And I figured,
that's what everything we're doing right now is darts.
Yeah.
Throwing another Cleveland Brown dart. Peoples Jones.
Yeah, I like that dart. That was on my radar. And you wanted to stack him because you think Jimmy's going to Cleveland?
If he goes there.
What about
I think it'd be good for. I think it'd be good. I love Njoku.
Yeah, that
crazy value too.
Yeah, he just went. Where is he? Yeah, he went like way back there.
Yeah. Where we're at now, yeah.
I basically had to choose between him and Jimmy G, so that's why I went Jimmy G there.
Yeah, I think I like him a lot as a tight end. There goes the other one right there.
Dulcich, yeah. I thought you might go there to stack to get your little.
But see, there's hype about it right now what he's doing. But just the other day, Albert O, I think it was like yesterday or the day before of how well he was. Oh, now he's connected with Russell Wilson. It's like on that offense. I'm sorry, I just can't buy into the second tight end. And even if I just don't think he's excelling Alberto enough to be like, hey, Alberto, see you later. We're going this route.
Yeah, I hear you. JD just pointed out Friday. I believe JD took him in Friday's draft as to his thinking behind it, where Dulcich is really a receiver, or maybe it was Theo explaining it. In college, he was a receiver for his first 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's Theo.
All the way through. Yeah. So if Dulcich takes some of the Tim Patrick work, that pushes what's his name, Alberto, back into the inline tight end position. Like if they drafted a blocking tight end, I could see Alberto exploding this year. But the fact that it's really almost purely a pass catching tight end, Alberto is going to, when there's two tight ends on the field, Alberto will be in line. That's just my thinking. Not that either are bad. I just,
I muted Jason because he's squeaking again. I don't know if it's his mouth or mouse or there's something.
Yeah, you should let me know. I've been trying to mute myself, but I've been going without unmuted. I'm like, okay, maybe the squeaking's gone.
I think I've just gotten used to it. I stopped hearing it. Now that you pointed out, I noticed it's gone though.
All right, I'm gonna throw another running back in there. I think.
Yeah,
Another rookie.
I wanted to look at one, but yeah,
A little Hassan Haskins.
definitely on my radar. Theo likes him a lot, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wait a second.
You're up.
He's still here?
Who is it?
Van Jefferson. He got a knee scope. He's not even gonna miss a game. And
There you
it's
go.
really just a stack.
It's a
Like,
stack. Yeah, there you go.
heck, I wasn't even looking that direction, and just let me see what wide receivers are there. Yeah, it's a stack, and I mean, he was going in the wide receiver 60 or so. Between wide receiver 60 and wide receiver 65. Van Jefferson was a 14th round pick 90% of the time. Just even a month ago. To get him at 19th round, I'll take that all day. He's not even a my guy. That's just too much value to pass up. But I should be looking running back. Oh, I know who I want. It's kind of a joke, but I get to pull the trigger on it.
Last pick of the we're going into the last round here, 20th round.
Being SuperFlex, I could just take my chances and lock that up too.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, totally. Wow, it didn't even realize it just did that. That's hilarious. I'm an idiot. I'm only gonna where I can't even find him. He's so far down. I'm only gonna take this guy because we're live streaming.
That's funny.
I mean, you know, you got, and I'm not gonna lock it up. Well, unless somebody else was paying attention Friday as to who I wanted to take. Yeah, no.
Oh, there's Treston Ebner. That's Eric the Shiva. That's his guy.
I do like that. Somebody compared Ebner to Tariq Cohen. Like, could play that Tariq Cohen role when he was with Chicago. But so this year's Cordarrelle Patterson is none other than my man.
Oh my God, he's still alive.
Duke Johnson.
Wow. I've had a lot of Duke Johnsons over the years, and I don't know. At a certain point,
there's almost a negative chance that ever happens. But who thought at this point last year Cordarrelle Patterson would have exploded like he did?
That's because Cordell Patterson was a wide receiver.
Right. I get it. And Duke Johnson is University of Miami's all-time leading rusher. So
I can't say anything. I just took Ty Montgomery before you took Duke Johnson. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I was wondering about that one.
Ty's been getting some good pub from New England.
Yeah. And then White retires, right? And he's the receiving back. I know Stevenson has been getting some receiving work, but
there is a player
again. One of those guys get injured, especially if Stevenson gets injured. Ty Montgomery, but Will is right. He's been getting some, and with James White retirement, as my second to last pick, you know what?
I'm hedging against Jason's team here with my last pick. I'm going to take Malik Willis. Going to win me this league right here. Boom! With the highlight touchdown tonight. Got to take him. Got to take the kid.
Yeah,
I could watch some preseason, shouldn't I?
Little Haskins Willis stack there in the back end.
I like that.
Little sneaky.
I like that. I was actually looking at Pierre Strong as well.
Yeah, it's so funny. He was the last guy in my queue.
Yeah. It's probably the smart pick. Like,
especially with the white news.
yeah. That was why Jason got Ty Montgomery. But I think if we weren't live streaming, I wouldn't have gone Duke Johnson. I would have gone Pierre Strong. I was going to say some consideration for Snoop Connor, but it looks like Robinson's going to at least disrupt any.
Yes, I was getting so much Snoop because I didn't think James Robinson was going to be back at least until half the season. Now he came back, and it's like, yeah, Snoop was a favorite one of mine to pick in the back end of all the drafts until James Robinson came, and then I just avoided it altogether.
Tresson Ebner's a running back in Chicago, FYI. Famous Jay asking. And he's asking if he should hold on to T.Y. Hilton on his dynasty team. I mean, until you have something, until you have something better.
No.
Why not?
No. An empty spot is better than T.Y. T.Y.'s dust.
He's going to Green Bay, man. What are you talking about?
He's where every receiver goes to.
Exactly. In every trade. All right, so
same with Will. Hey, Will Fuller, same thing, right? Will Fuller is going to Green Bay as well.
All right, guys, we're over 2 hours here. Let's run through each of our rosters. Who wants to go first? Run through your roster, highlight what you like, don't like, anything that stands out. Maybe your favorite pick or something.
You want to go first, Jason? You can't hear him.
He's on
All
mute.
right.
He's on mute.
I'll go first.
Wheeler's going first.
I like the Christian McCaffrey pick because I was able to get 2 solid quarterbacks coming back with Stafford and Cousins. Come back with 2 high-quality receivers in Mike Evans and Cortland Sutton. Really happy there. I should not have grabbed Akers. I would have preferred Allen Robinson there. Akers probably wouldn't have come back. I would have still been waiting on a set. I would have rather gotten a quarterback than Dallas Goedert. Not that I dislike Goddard. I think he'll do just fine. But
it's an auto pick. You always think about the auto pick.
Yeah. He was obviously in the top of my queue, but I was definitely looking at which quarterback I was going to go with, and I was trying to talk myself into Baker will make it back. I don't need to go quarterback, and I'm looking at J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is a favorite of mine. That's what I would have done. If I went Allen Robinson instead of Akers,
Dobbins.
I would have jumped all over Dobbins in the 7th.
He's the last one in that tier, Dobbins, for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I have him. It's got to be over 50% at this point, just because he's going in a non-super flex in the 6th round every time.
And he was going even cheaper, like another round or 2 back.
Right. So if I went Robinson instead of Akers, grabbing Dobbins on the way back, it still leaves me fragile at that 3rd quarterback. And really, I was focused on the 3rd quarterback because they have the same. My 2 quarterbacks have the same bye week. Like if I had 2 different bye weeks, I probably wouldn't have worried about it so much.
Yeah. And I mean, how sexy can a Geno Smith pick be? Right.
I mean, can he last if he can last through week 7, it's not a bad pick. But you're right. If I grab Lockett instead of Gage, the Smith pick looks a little bit better.
A little, yeah. Holds a little more weight.
But I mean, not bad overall. Michael Thomas, I like. I think he's a value. I talked about that. Adam Thielen was strictly for the stack. The 2 wide receivers that went after Thielen, Burks and Ayuk, I prefer generally, but I guess, and even Renfro. Who was it? Dwayne McFarland, I think, was talking up Renfro.
Mm-hmm. Right. Renfro's a great value.
I wasn't sure if it was him or Hayden Winks, but I think it was on a GOAT podcast that Dwayne was talking about Renfro.
Could have been.
Anyway, Gibson's fallen too. Antonio Gibson, he's in a non-super flex. He's going in the 8th or 9th round. It's just
at a certain point you got to take a guy like Gibson. I mean, he's showed huge bursts, those huge plays. Mm-hmm. If he could stay healthy, man, he could be a league winner.
I went and took CEH because he's sliding through a value, but like Gibson was going at that 2-3 turn last year, right? Like he was even going in the second last year.
He was up there.
CEH was probably up there too, but like Gibson has slipped. I think at the beginning of this season, Gibson was getting drafted in the 3rd round, maybe the 4th round. So he's really slid.
Sorry guys, I don't know why my thing keeps sleeping on me, my laptop for some reason, and it's kicking me out of the screen.
I haven't even noticed.
Sorry, go ahead, Wheeler.
So yeah, then I got CEH and then Gage, just because I always tend to see his name, even though I have a ton of them.
Yeah,
he's like, and Jason made a good point. I need to be looking at Lockett where I'm looking at Gage, because Lockett's just too much of a value at this point. Higbee was strictly because of the stack. I was actually thinking while I was picking Higbee, I'm like, I can grab Ingram or Njoku in the next round. I think I should be good. But then when you took Garoppolo, I started getting antsy about my quarterback. Jumped on Geno way too early. Geno probably goes another like 3-4 rounds later. But yeah, you got me triggered, and then I missed out on the Ingram and Njoku. And even the Hooper went a little bit earlier than I thought.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But coming back with Herbert and Myers, and I like Jamal Williams. I took Jamal Williams in Friday's draft too, and I think Theo was asking like, or somebody was asking about Justin Jackson, who's also there, and Jamal Williams has all of the skills. This coaching staff went out and got him. And did you hear him or see him on Twitter
Yes.
giving his hype speech?
Yes. No, he's a leader. He's like he's a dressing room guy on top of what he offers on the field.
He's essentially a captain. Like if Swift goes down, it's Jamal all the way. There's no doubt about it. And you might see Jamal in the 2-minute drill. You might see him getting goal line stuff.
He'll play enough. He was injured last year, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah. I think it was I think he was getting the majority of the touches before he went down too. Not that that's going to happen again, but you know, maybe it starts out as 60-40, or even if it's 65-35, he's going to get opportunity.
They definitely coexisted, Swift and Williams, until he got injured.
Right. And then, you know, finishing up, Marvin Jones is just a favorite of mine. His name pops out at me in every draft. He could be, we talked about, could be in our wide receiver 1 on that team. Jonnu, just because he follow the money. Van Jefferson's a stack, and Duke Johnson is my claim to fame. Gonna win me.
My claim to fame. All right, so that's Wheeler. He was out of the 7 spot. Just to speed this up a bit, Jason, I'm going to read off your team and I'll ask you a couple questions. Maybe let me know what your favorite pick in there, if there's anything you change. But you have Russell Wilson, Trey Lance, and Tannehill, who you got in the 7th as your quarterbacks. You got Derrick Henry. You waited many rounds. What is that? 8 rounds till you got James Cook as your RB2. Then Dameon Pierce, Tyler Algier, Marlon Mack, Trey Sermon, Ty Montgomery. Rounds off your running backs: Kittle, Hunter Henry, and Logan Thomas at tight end. McLaurin, Deontay, Elijah Moore, you snipe me. Ayuk with your stack. Woods with your stack. Devontae Parker, and then David Bell at the end, which is a nice little flyer. How did you like your draft, Jason? Anything stand out?
Yeah, I can make this very quick for you. Superflex are just in regular drafts. If you're drafting Trey Lance, you got to have a solid backup for Trey Lance just as insurance. So happy to get Tannehill. Don't like that I have 3 rookie running backs as possible running 2. Very happy with getting my starting wide receiver, Terry McLaurin at 509 and Deontay Johnson at 604.
Yeah.
And I just like that. I'm very heavy on top tight end this year. And then Hunter Henry as I think we talked about the red zone threat for New England.
I mean, if Marlon Mack does actually start the season and get you a few weeks, you're golden, because then you can fall back on your, those rookie running backs, your Trey Sermons if he pops a bit later.
And
that's why I got to put him with Pierce as well. So now I got Mac. If I at least get.
Oh, that's true. If Mac
one of Houston's options.
Yeah, no, I like that. I don't usually like stacking, and I think you even mentioned that how you don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but that seemed for the value and where they were going, and at least to lock up one backfield that likes to be, just run one running back. So yeah, that kind of worked out for me.
That's actually a perfect example of what I was trying to talk about on Friday, but at that time I was probably too stoned. Like if you're handcuffing the RB1 and RB2 or the 1A and 1B on a team in the second half of a draft, you're gold. Like if they should get, between the two of them, they should get 80% of the touches.
You're looking for fractional. Right? You're looking for, like, again, a handful of weeks at most out of these bottom guys. So if you put guys together that you think could complement and give you more, you're not capping the upside because you're just looking for the spike weeks. Right?
You're going to get like a flex worthy start combined out of them. You should get a flex worthy start 10 times. No, between the two of them, did they score 10 touchdowns? Like, that's really what you're looking at.
Yeah,
I think. 4 and 6, they both catch passes too, right? Like they're not inept at it anyway.
And especially with the rookie running backs, those three, right. You kind of made up. You kind of have a safety blanket there with the Houston backfield.
Yeah, that was when I seen Mac available. I was sitting there because I've gotten sniped a few times in this draft, and I'm like, just let me lock up that because I realized that I was taking the running backs, my second running back, super late. And yeah, very happy with how that turned out. But all in all, very happy. I at least got one stack with, or the big stack with Lance, Ayuk, and Kittle. I'm going to say that's at least 50% of all the 49ers touchdowns right there locked up on that team.
I would say more than that.
Yeah, I'm just saying at least.
Right.
At least.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice build, man. It's a nice build. I like both your rosters. I'll run through mine quick. Out of the 5 spot, Kyler Murray was the first pick. Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook with back-to-back running backs. A.J. Brown, Michael Pittman, Hollywood Brown to stack with Murray. Then I took my QB2 in the 7th with Zach Wilson. Amari Cooper setting up a later stack. DeAndre Hopkins to add to my Arizona stack. And then my RB3, Kareem Hunt. My RB4, Kenneth Gainwell, whom I love drafting. Can't stop drafting him. Irv Smith as my tight end 1. My tight end didn't end up too badly, considering I waited till the 11th round in a tight end preem. Ended up with Brevin Jordan and Mo Ali Cox. Added Zamir White and Hassan Askin, a couple of rookies with upside at the running back position. And then Tolbert and Peoples-Jones for the stack, and Tolbert just even by himself. I love what he offers in the 14th round. Malik Willis, a little flyer to add to the Askins stack. Last round of a SuperFlex tournament. I don't mind throwing a flyer there. Pretty happy with how it went. Nothing really surprising, I don't find. I think we each have, kind of we're telling a story, with our rosters, and that's what we talk about often on the show, and that's what you got to do. Even, we started talking the guy in the 2 spot got really interesting, but then you got to look. He's really has to hit on these running backs. I think he maybe waited a little too long. That's probably the only team. Otherwise, I like what he did. But Rashad White and Isaiah Spillers as your first 2 running backs, it's going to be hard when you got to start 2. Because I don't know that Foreman, McKissick, Evans, and Gus Edwards will fill enough weeks. Otherwise, I think a lot of good drafters in this draft. This was fun, guys. Make sure you check out Wheeler at FF_Wheeler, Jason at Jason. Is it TIL? What is it? Jason?
Jason Filt. FILT.
FILT. That's it. I was going to say tilt for some reason. Filt on Twitter. just both of them, wealth and knowledge. Wheeler, congrats again, joining the 33rd team over there with Larky and the crew. Guys, myffpc.com. You're watching this in August, over 2 hours. You're probably already on the site. If you're not, make sure you tag me or at Goat District on the Twitter machine. We'll hook you up with a sign-up bonus. Right now, they got all kinds of stuff going on, guys. Like it's a no-brainer. You can play the tournament we played tonight, $35 entry, 10 grand for first. You've got the let me get that out of the off the screen so you guys can see that better. You've got the SuperFlex 2, which just started, so you know, get as many entries as you can in there, guys. You've got the main event, which they're starting to you can schedule your live drafts starting August 12th. You've got the slow drafts that are running right now, and then you've got the football guys, 350 buy-in, 500 grand for first. It's a no-brainer. Probably the funnest tournament, I think, redraft wise. That is not best ball right now is the football guys. It's actually what brings a lot of people to the FFPC. So check that out. And guys, this was a blast, man. It was fun talking with you guys, hanging out for a couple hours on a Thursday night. We got some football, so we can go watch some highlights. And we'll be back next week, guys, with a star-studded roster as we always do here in the district. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll check you all later.
Go District. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball. And I bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. It's the Go District, y'all. I ball, cause I bleed. Hey, bleeding, I ball. Defeated the odds, didn't see him at all. JD in the pies, I needed it all. I bleeded a lie. You bleeded a lie, not bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know dudes. Draft and they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the Go District boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden, and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving the district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laughed at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, BALLiN ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.